All right, welcome to the what is this? Our fourth edition of the video podcast. I'm not sure. We haven't been back in a while. I'm in a different spot, as you guys can see. There's some life, love, motivational quotes behind me, in case anybody gets down on the fantasy team while we're talking. Anyway, let's welcome everybody into the show. Let's start with Jeremy. What's going on? You alone tonight?
Yeah, I'm all alone tonight. Just me and the cats. Just had my pre-made meal that the wife made and left me.
Wow, where's Mrs. Tannenbaum tonight?
She's in Pennsylvania doing work with QVC with celebs and stuff.
Does Mrs. Tannenbaum watch the podcast?
Yes, she does.
Really? So she'll be happy. She'll be happy that we're talking about it right now.
Oh yeah, shout out to the wife.
Nice. Well, nice to Mrs. Tannenbaum. We all miss you. Anyway, let's kick it to Martial.
Yo, what's up?
Martial, why don't you tell our audience about your golf experience, your last golf experience of the year this past week?
155 yards out, fairway bunker, down in Florida. Hit a 6-iron, clubbed up, 1 foot from the pin, tapping birdie, end of season. No more golf for me until March. Don't want to play. Don't even want to think about golf.
Love it. I love it. Let's kick it over to Wilson, who has no idea what golf is, I don't think. Wilson?
Yeah, clueless. No idea. Foreign language right there.
Wilson, what's going on, man? What's up with the Packers?
Looking good this week. Looking good.
All right, well,
Defense healthy.
you know what? Let's jump right into it right now. And because I just mentioned the Packers, Wilson, I wanted to ask you, what the hell happened to Davante Adams? I started him in one league. I had him in my DraftKings lineup. What the hell happened, man?
Well, when you're given your choice of who to throw to, and the Bears literally decide to ignore Jordy Nelson, it's tough not to throw to him. I mean, he probably could have thrown to anyone. If you were out there, you'd be open, get you some touchdowns too.
Yeah,
the Bears defense is not bad.
But this is what I was disappointed with Davante Adams is he played the whole game. So like when halftime they took out, they were up 5 touchdowns, so they took out Jordy and Cobb and Rodgers, but Davante Adams was on the field the whole time. And just as a owner who I was a little concerned. He played the whole game, similar to how Alshon Jeffrey played the whole game, and he didn't really get much. So you have no concerns about Davante Adams' fantasy moving forward? You think he's just a handcuff, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think I don't think his value is any different. I think he's a wide receiver 3 at best. You can't really count on him week to week. So, I mean, the upside's there because that offense is going to throw the ball. And smarter defenses will take away Nelson or Cobb.
Right.
But it's that particular week. I mean, it's a tough situation. They were all out at the half. It could have been way worse.
Yeah, I read some stuff too that said that they were focusing with Chicago so bad at covering the tight ends that the Packers were running 2 tight end sets out there, and Davante Adams was kind of the guy who was left out. So, moving forward, I'm not too concerned, but it was a little disappointing to see. Martial, I mentioned that Alshon Jeffrey was kind of the same way. He was the only starter that didn't get pulled through the whole game. What's up with Alshon Jeffrey? What's up with Brandon Marshall? What's up with the Bears?
I mean, it was a train wreck. But Marshall looked like he cared. I mean, he actually fought to get that touchdown in the game, which he was about the only Bear that actually looked like he cared. I mean, the Bears are just a mess right now. It's terrible. So I was watching Comcast Sportsnet here a little while ago before the podcast, and they were talking about who needs to go in Chicago. Does Trestman get fired? Do they, let Cutler go and just bite the bullet and take up all that guaranteed money? Do they let Phil Emery go? Do they can all of them, or do they all come back? And a lot of the experts are saying that they're all going to come back next year, just purely because the ownership doesn't like change and all that money involved. So, I mean, Cutler just has to get his shit together more or less, and just settle down.
I have an inside source that's told me Jay Cutler may or may not be retiring soon. I would like your comment on that situation.
Big Red knows all.
Big Red. I don't know who Big Red is, but Big Red, these guys play with in a different league, and I guess he offers crazy trades all the time. Anyway, Jeremy, do you own any Bears on any teams, and are you concerned with any of them outside of Matt Forte?
I own Matt Forte. That's it.
And you're all set with him. He's good.
Yeah, I'm all set with him. Top team in that league, so I'm good.
Nice, nice. All right, well, let's move forward and talk about the Philadelphia Eagles offense situation. Wanted just to touch upon Mark Sanchez, how he came back this week and how he did so well. Maybe talk about his value moving forward. Jeremy, you've seen Mark Sanchez play a lot of career games. Is this guy, is he good? Was he just shitty when he was on the Jets? Is it kind of a, I love Nick Foles preseason because of the situation he was in. Now Mark Sanchez is in this situation. Is it kind of a seamless transition, or what do you see with the Philly offense moving forward?
Oh, listen, Sanchez is a good quarterback. He played well enough his first 2 years. He had weapons, and then they took them all away. They handcuffed him, and then he was doomed to do well after year 2. He made a lot of mistakes. Obviously, didn't help himself. But in the Eagles, he's got a great quarterback coach. He's got the perfect weapons around him. They run a no huddle basically. That's what he was good at. They run a lot of play action. He's great at play action. That's like the only thing he's good at. So I don't know. I think it's a perfect fit for Sanchez. I think he's gonna run with it the rest of the season. Probably like a top 12 quarterback the rest of the way. And I see him having a lot of success.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think mostly because of the system he plays in. It's why I said I liked Foles at the beginning of the season. Wilson, I think you own Jordan Matthews in our Keeper League. What do you see moving forward with Maclin versus Matthews and the value of the two of them moving forward?
Well, I still think Maclin is the guy, but Matthews he obviously looked really good this week in the preseason, especially since our audience is kind of relegated to our local audience here up in New England. Matthews had a pretty good game against the Patriots when Sanchez was in, and it was he and the two of them that hooked up. There's good chemistry there with Sanchez and Matthews, and I'd like to think that this is his opportunity. He escalates a little bit in value. I'm not sure that it changes him like dramatically, but he's now at least a viable wide receiver 3, and he's not just a flex guy that you're hoping might catch a couple passes like he has been until this point.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that. Martial, do you have an opinion on anything Eagles related?
I mean, you're almost happy in a way for Sanchez just because of that, the train wreck he was in with the Jets, that he can actually be on a good team. And afterwards, we went and got cheesesteaks, which, you can't complain about that. That's awesome. So, it's good. I think most quarterbacks in that system, not named Matt Barkley, could succeed. So, it totally gates all, contract extension leverage that Nick Foles and his agent had. So, for the long run, it's good for the Eagles.
All right, cool. I want to talk about 3 specific running backs and kind of like what's going on with their situation. We'll start with Jeremy. The first guy I want to talk about is Ahmad Bradshaw. He's been basically a top 5 running back, if you can believe it, in basically almost any format, especially PPR formats. And it's a guy that I think everybody knows he's a good player when he plays, but he's had a lot of injuries in the past. Jeremy, what do you think about Ahmad Bradshaw? And if you had him and the trade deadline was this Friday, would you look at moving Bradshaw for a safer option, or would you just roll the dice and continue putting out someone who's putting up the points?
I like Bradshaw a lot. If I had him, I'd probably try to hold him. I don't know if you get the right trade value you should get for him, just because I just feel like people don't buy into Bradshaw for some reason. I don't know why. But if he's healthy...
Hold on a second. Wilson, do you have some sort of other audio going on your video right now?
No.
Because it keeps, on my screen, it keeps switching from Jeremy to you. Even though you're not talking, it just keeps switching to you. So I don't know if you have something on in the background or...
I might have tapped the desk like an anxious hands. I don't know.
It happened like a bunch of times, but I just want to make sure. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, I don't know.
All right, go ahead, Jeremy. Sorry.
Anyways, yeah, I would keep Bradshaw. I like him, especially in PPR formats. They're throwing him the ball a lot. I think he's perfect for that offense. They're not going to power run the ball, and he's kind of shifty on the outside. So I kind of like him the rest of the way, and he's a good complement to Luck in the passing game.
All right, Jeremy, give me your one or two thoughts on Denard Robinson moving forward. He has a bye this week. Obviously, this is a guy we watched play quarterback for Michigan while we were in college, and it's amazing to me that he's a running back now. What do you think about Denard Robinson?
Yeah, kind of weird that he's a running back now. I never thought he would make it as a running back. He just isn't your prototypical running back, but he seems to be getting the job done. Toby Gerhardt's useless. Storm Johnson gets inactivated every week, and Jordan Todman seems to be a special teams player. So it looks like, if Robinson's getting the ball, I mean, someone's got to get yards for the Jaguars. And I think they'll keep using him, and he's catching balls too. So I like him the rest of the way too.
Sweet. And then last guy for you, Jeremy, Arian Foster. Had the injury scare before the bye week. He's been a great player. Is Arian Foster somebody that you look to trade high and try to get somebody good from, or do you roll with Foster, assuming that you have Alfred Blue?
Yeah, I think if I had Foster, I would have tried to trade him hopefully before, he had gotten that injury. It seems like he's going to be okay, but, he was at the top of his game then. Injury is always a risk with Foster, and at that point, before the bye week, people were saying he might be the top running back in fantasy. So, you're not going to get as much value after that. But.
All right, Marty L., Bradshaw, Denard Robinson, Arian Foster. Give me a thought on each of those three guys.
I'd say you hold on to Bradshaw. I know that the Colts offense is going to be explosive, so there's likelihood there is today. Shoelaces. He's a Jaguar. So you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. But I like him.
Well, you know what? Here, let me introduce this. In our Dirty D League, there was a trade offer, I think, today. This is all unofficial, I don't know, but I think there was a trade offer for Denard Robinson for Alshon Jeffrey straight up. Is that something you'd do in a vacuum?
I don't know. I think I would side with Alshon, quite honestly. You don't know. If the Jaguars fall behind, they're going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Which they're going to fall behind.
Yeah, and just for our audience and everyone knows, Allen Robinson, he has some sort of injury. I think he's ruled out for the rest of the year. So, the rest of the Jaguar guys may be looking to pick up a little slack. Wilson, what do you think about Bradshaw and Robinson specifically?
In Bradshaw's case, I think I'm one of those guys that's the non-believer. He's clearly getting the job done, but there's just something about him. There's always some issue, whether it's been his issues with fumbles or his issues with injuries, that ends up hurting his playing time. And he's not a guy I want to count on in the bigger weeks. So I think if you have him, like Jeremy said, you hang on to him because no one's really going to give you fair value. But at the same time, I'm not sitting there going, how can I get Ahmad Bradshaw on my team? He's the key to winning. So I think it's just kind of a stay put. We talked about it with Steve Smith earlier this year. It's a tough spot. You take it for what it is, but fair value just isn't there for him.
To follow up on the Steve Smith point, I think we talked about it. I know that I made a board bet with Sean, our friend. I think it was like week 4, week 5. Moving forward, I bet Torrey Smith over Steve Smith Sr. And if you look at the stats, it's still pretty close, but Torrey Smith is definitely pulled ahead of Steve Smith Sr. With that wide receiver situation in Baltimore, Jeremy, which of those two wide receivers would you rather own moving forward? Torrey Smith or Smith?
Moving forward, I probably want Torrey Smith at this point for the rest of the season. Just looks like he's starting to step up. He's been out-producing Steve Smith lately. He's been scoring touchdowns. That's a big thing. Steve Smith really hasn't been doing that much, and he made an egg last week. Sure, one of my teams. But, I'd probably go with Torrey Smith.
All right, Marty L., would you take Steve Smith or Torrey Smith?
Torrey Smith. I agree. Everything Jeremy said, I agree with.
All right, Wilson?
Torrey Smith.
Yeah, I'm on board with Torrey Smith too, so I guess it's like a non-issue, but just when you look at the total points and when you look at the rankings, these guys are so close together. So. All right. Somebody else I want to bring up and talk about, or at least the situation I want to talk about, is the Denver running back situation. I'm going to kick it off to Marty because I know he owns a couple of these guys. For the audience to know, Ronnie Hillman didn't have a great game. He was seen in a boot after the game. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. And the Broncos said they're going to go with a hot hand. So we have Monty Ball, who's back. We have C.J. Anderson, who had a great game last week. We have Juwan Thompson still out there. Marty, what do you make of this running back situation in Denver? My personal thought is I'd rather not own any of these guys. I'd trade away any of them and try to get whatever value I could for them just because you don't want to deal with that headache. But what do you think?
I mean, Ronnie Hillman could not have happened at literally the worst time for me. So I'm upset about that. I had about 2 or 3 offers out there for him. I pulled the trigger on before the game. I could have something for him, but that value's gone. Got Anderson now, so I'm hoping they ride the hot hand and ease Ball into it, and hopefully he blows up this week against St. Louis, and so he can keep the hot hand there over Ball. So I'm nervous with Ball back and losing weight. I think Ball's going to have a nice presence on the stretch.
All right, Wilson, do you have a take?
Before the season, there was a lot of talk about how impressive C.J. Anderson was, and now we kind of got to see it on the field. So it's clear that they like him in Denver, and I think they will give him every shot to kind of run with it this week and see what they really have and see if it was just a 1-week thing. I mean, against Oakland, who knows? But just give it another week, see where he's at, and like Matt said, ease Ball into it. I honestly really like Juwan Thompson, too. I've watched him run a little bit, and he looks good. So I really think the original take that you had, James, is kind of right on. I don't want any part of them. If I need them, I'm in a desperate situation, and things probably aren't looking good.
I agree, Jeremy.
I'm a C.J. Anderson guy. He went to Cal, so he's a beast. That's what I think. I don't really like running him at all, and Monty Ball is like a touchdown guy. So whatever.
Does that mean that you're a Shane Vereen guy too?
Yeah, I fucking love Shane Vereen.
All right, so let's talk about Shane Vereen. I have him in my draft lineup this week. I think this week he's going to blow up. Obviously, we're playing against the Colts this week. Do you guys like Shane Vereen this week? He's kind of a guy, as a Pats fan, I'll tell you, he's kind of a guy who some games he's involved and he's very involved. Other games, like they game plan and he's not involved and he just pass blocks. So do you guys think he's going to be involved this week versus the Colts, or do you think he's not? I personally think he is. I have him in my DraftKings lineup. Jeremy, what about you? Would you feel comfortable rolling with him in DraftKings or not?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very high-scoring game as both offenses are clicking, and the over-under is ridiculously high, like 57. I've never seen anything that high. But I think the Colts have like a pretty decent run defense, and I mean, from what I saw, I think they step Andre Williams like for negative yards every time. But Shane Vereen's kind of shifty back and might be able to create some space, catch a bunch of balls and do something if he goes into the second.
Yeah, Marty, what do you think?
I'm all for Vereen having a big week. I mean, I think it's going to be a ridiculously high scoring back and forth game, so I think they're going to have to dump it down to Vereen a lot. I agree. I think it's a great for Vereen.
And Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, as much as you can be confident in any running back in the Patriots' backfield, this is it. I mean, you never know with Belichick and McDaniels. They might just decide, yeah, let's mess with them and make this a James White week. Who knows? That's just what the Patriots do. But
yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they don't go James White. I hope it's Jonas Gray because I'm actually in full disclosure. I'm playing Jonas Gray as well in my DraftKings lineup. I think playing Jonas Gray and Shane Vereen together, will produce a lot of points. If James White, then I'm screwed and I'm an idiot. So, all right, let's move to our next segment. We've done this before. We're going to do Nick Carton, guys. I'm going to go last. I know that Jeremy has someone specific that he'd like to talk about. Why don't you go with your milk carton guy? Again, these are guys who have gone missing. We don't know where they are. It doesn't make any sense. Jeremy, who's your guy?
Pierre Garcon. He's the one that influenced the milk carton segment, and he's back on there again. He might not even be in the NFL for all I know. I mean, I know he had a bye last week.
But this is my question with Pierre Garcon. I own Pierre Garcon. Everyone coming in the year says RG3 loves Pierre Garcon because he has so many targets and so many catches. Deshaun Jackson comes in. No one knows who's going to be real beneficiary. Moving forward, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious now in either PPR or standard leagues, Deshaun Jackson officially moved past Pierre Garcon, and if so, like by how much, Jeremy?
I mean, from what I've read and what I've seen, it looks like Deshaun Jackson's taken that ex-receiver role that Garcon was in last year. I don't know where that leaves Garcon, but he's just not catching any balls. Like, I still thought the volume would be there, and it's not. I mean, he had 3 catches for 15 yards against Minnesota. And I'm thinking about benching him this week against Tampa Bay for Martavis Bryant. So that's where I'm at with Pierre Garcon.
Yeah,
he's more than welcome to come to my line.
Martavis Bryant obviously is very hot, so that's somewhat understandable. But Martial, would you play Martavis Bryant over Pierre Garcon? And what are your thoughts on Pierre Garcon in general?
You know, if the Steelers fall behind, they're kind of showing that Bryant's not going to play because he doesn't know all the stats and know side of Wheaton over him. Garcon's guaranteed to get playing time, but maybe not production. But I like Bryant's upside way more.
All right, Wilson.
I hope that Jeremy's not playing Martavis Bryant over Pierre Garcon because that will mean that he traded him to me. So I'm looking for that to have happened, and I wouldn't mind that happening right now on this podcast live.
We're doing that right now?
I think it should. I think it should.
Go ahead. Apparently these guys are in trade talks. Wilson, go ahead. Please just explain to the audience the situation in the trade that you're proposing with Jeremy because I don't even know what it is.
It's light conversation. It's not serious yet. We're not that involved. But with the deadline approaching, Jeremy was interested in a running back. I have Mark Ingram, who's pretty hot right now, and Jeremy's looking to bring in a back. And I'm looking to take a couple flyers since the Herdsmen are the worst team out there. So I'm looking to get Martavis Bryant and Travis Kelce back in return. And as a little insurance for Ingram, I'll throw in Kiri Robinson. So that's what we're looking at.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about it. I can't commit yet. I'm still waiting to hear back from Smalls on, like, Alfred Morris, potentially. Because someone told me, maybe it was Big Red, he's going to catch a lot of balls. So.
All right. So, hold on, Jerry. If you don't hear back from Smalls, which is almost but a guarantee, would you take that deal with Wilson?
I might. The way the Niners use Gore, it's like an every 3-week thing. They realize that they lose when they don't use him, and then when they do, they win. And I don't know. So I might have to do it. I have no other running back depth. Travaris could depth me number 3 running back. So.
Podcast history right here. Make that trade.
I'll have all the Saints running backs.
You're not going to do it right now, Jeremy. You're not going to make podcast history right now.
I can't commit right now.
Okay, all right.
Come on, Maddie's telling me I'm trading for a guy who doesn't even know all the patterns. Let's go.
All right, well, we'll have to update our listeners next week on that. All right, moving on. Milk carton guys, Martial, who do you got?
I'm going to say the whole Panthers offensive line. It's terrible. I mean, you watch that game against the Eagles, and Connor Barlow was just going through there like it was a god. He looked like J.J. Watt, basically. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's been hit, really hit and sacked the most since he's been in the NFL in 2011. I mean, how he could even survive. It doesn't make Riverboat Ron keeping him in the game, like when it was 45-7, was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So you're just asking him to basically be killed.
Yeah, that was a little weird that he was in the game so late. All right, Wilson, what about your milk carton guy?
My milk carton guy is probably hanging out with Pierre Garcon somewhere. I'm looking for Michael Floyd. Uh, he's done a magical disappearing act since week 3, and now with Drew Stanton on board, I'm not sure we'll be finding Michael Floyd anytime soon. In another league that I'm in, he was just traded for Andrew Hawkins and Austin Safarian Jenkins, and the guy who had Floyd had to throw in a pick to get him to take that deal. That's where Floyd's value is.
So, Wilson, this is my question with you about Michael Floyd. Coming into this year, this guy was viewed as a high upside wide receiver too. What happened? Because a guy who's super talented, this doesn't happen to because we've seen super talented guys deal with different quarterback situations. What happened with Michael Floyd where he completely fell off the map when they were still throwing 50 times a game? Is this guy not talented? Is he not good? Do you think he's not going to be good? Or what? I'm just confused because I've never seen someone fall so hard for no real reason.
Supposedly, if you can hear what they talk about out of Arizona, they say the way the offense is designed, it's not meant to go to any one guy. But
this is the thing has Carson Palmer not thrown it 45 times a game over the past 4 games, and the guy's getting like 4 targets?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. Floyd has been someone that's been very confusing to me since he was in college. Like, I didn't know if he was good or not at Notre Dame, and then he came into the league. I think I made a board bet with you in the past that I didn't like Michael Floyd, and then he was good. Like, I don't know what to think of the guy. And just when I start to buy in on him, the guy disappears off the face of the earth. So I don't know what to think. But I guess the emergence of John Brown out there, that plays a role. But then they waste their time throwing to guys like John Carlson, who just sucks.
Yeah, Marty, do you have anything to say about Michael Floyd?
I mean, it's such a waste of talent. I mean, because he shows flashes, and he showed flashes in Notre Dame, and then he's drinking and driving. But I mean, he's in Arizona. It's just they throw the ball so much and it just blows your mind that he can't get more targets.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Moving forward to my milk carton guy, I'm going to talk about a guy I own in our league that we all play together in. It's Reggie Bush. It's frustrating. I mean, Reggie Bush at this time last year was a great running back, very involved in the offense. I know he's older, but the thing about Reggie Bush is that he was older, but he was a producer. Now he's not producing. He seems to get hurt every week. He's not really playing. I don't feel comfortable playing him any week. Would any of you play Reggie Bush this week or anytime in the near future? I mean, it's just like, to me, it seems like it's like a hands-off situation. Jeremy?
No, I hate Reggie Bush. I hate Drake Bell. I hate every Lions running back ever, except Barry Sanders.
All right, that's a very strong opinion. What about you, Wilson?
I don't know if I hate every Lions running back ever, but I think I hate, what's his name, Joe Lombardi? I think I hate him because I don't think he has a plan for the running backs. And I think he might be looking at Jeremy's fantasy lineups to decide who's going to play and just mess around with people.
Jeremy, do you own the Detroit running back somewhere that our audience doesn't know about?
Yeah, in Uno League, I had Bush and Bell, and I had to start one or the other for like 4 weeks in a row, and I literally chose the wrong one every week. And even the week that like Bush was out, I started Bell, and it was all Riddick. Or and then Bell was out, so I started Bush, and it was all like Red. So I give up.
Yeah, it's a tough situation. Marty L?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch any of them right now, especially Bush. Especially since we're trading him as garbage.
All right, that's some great fantasy analysis right there. Wouldn't touch either of them. All right, anyway, I think just going to Marty L for the milk carton guy. Who's your milk carton guy?
I already said mine. The Panthers' offensive line. Terrible.
Said it. Jeremy said it. Did Wilson say his?
Yeah, Michael Floyd.
Michael Floyd. Okay, so we got through the milk carton guys. All right, so then we're going to wrap up the podcast in the next couple of minutes. The one thing I wanted to talk about is the DraftKings thing. I think it's kind of interesting. I play DraftKings. I know these guys play DraftKings too. Thinking about our lineups this week, I already picked my. I'm playing 2 different lineups, but one guy I really like this week, and Jeremy questioned me earlier, is Justin Hunter. He's playing Monday night at home against the Steelers, who are vulnerable. The Titans are probably going to be down. Justin Hunter's getting the targets. Mettenberger target him a ton. I just think Justin Hunter is a very solid play in daily fantasy lineups where he's so cheap. I think he's like the second lowest possible price, and it's a guy who could easily go for, he could catch 2 touchdowns for 70 yards. Do you guys think that Justin Hunter is a good flyer? And maybe give us one flyer of yours that you may think might do well this week. Why don't we start with Marty L?
I don't play DraftKings, but so I'm going to respectfully decline on that for now. Try not to gamble. Ghost Morgan.
All right. You can decline DraftKings, but what do you think about Justin Hunter being very cheap and a good high upside option?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you could easily get him with a bomb that's going to make him worth playing. I mean,
like Martavis Bryant last week, he had an 80-yard touchdown with like a minute left, and he became like the 4th best wide receiver. I know Martavis Bryant's done better in the past, but that's kind of what I'm envisioning with Justin Hunter. Anyway,
Burger has a gun, so he can throw it. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. You do suck for not playing DraftKings. I don't want to encourage you to bet, but you do suck. Let's go to someone I know plays DraftKings, and that's Jeremy. Who's your DraftKings value pick this week, and what do you think of Justin Hunter?
Well, first, Justin Hunter. I mean, I have him on 1 or 2 of my leagues. I don't really ever play him, and when I have, he scores like 2 points. So it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, he could have a big game. The Steelers' secondary is awful. As you can see, T.J. Graham burning them for like 80 yards. That never happens for the Jets. So I could see it happening. I wouldn't want to risk on both of my teams. Maybe just one.
All right. So do you have somebody in DraftKings? I know you said you typically don't look at your lineup until later in the week, but maybe have you peeked, or who do you think you may suggest as a?
I mean, it looks like Gio Bernard's not going to play again, and for 4,500, Jeremy Hill's still relatively cheap, and he's playing the Saints defense, which if it's a close game, he should be able to run through that defensive line.
Yep, I agree. I have Jeremy Hill in my lineup, even though last week he was a disappointment. I think he's cheap enough this week where he's worth the risk. Wilson, I don't think you technically play DraftKings, do you?
I do play DraftKings, but I don't do the millionaire one with you because I'm just still operating on my free money I won.
The mascot does?
Still haven't put money on, and I'm cruising around $40 right now. So we're rolling.
That's admirable. I like that.
So yeah, I do play. I play every week, and Jeremy Hill is one that I immediately looked at, so I'm on the same page there. I just went to look for guys similar to Justin Hunter at those really cheap prices just to see if I had anyone. If you want to take a flyer, I mean, the Browns' backfield's a mess, but Isaiah Crowell is only $3,200. I like him down there. If you're looking for a tight end, because tight end is kind of a crapshoot up every week unless you're going with one of the big guys, Jordan Reed's only $3,300. So there's a couple decent values down there.
Actually, what do you guys think about the Minnesota Vikings tight end situation? Because Kyle Rudolph is supposed to be coming back. I think they're playing. Is it the Bears this week? And I think the Bears have been like historically bad in the past 5 weeks against tight ends. So I personally, I can't remember the dude's name, but I have the guy in right. What is it?
Faith Ford.
Yeah, so I have him in my lineup right now for DraftKings. If Kyle Rudolph can't go, I'm probably going to roll with that guy. But what do you guys think about the situation there as far as tight end Kyle Rudolph moving forward and this week? We'll start with Wilson.
I kind of have a little bit of hatred going for Kyle Rudolph right now. First of all, he's got the Notre Dame thing going on. And I made a trade earlier this year thinking that he was going to bust out in the North Turner offense that brought me Kyle Rudolph and C.J. Spiller. Clearly that's worked really well. And I lost Julius Thomas in that deal. So I'm feeling pretty good about Kyle Rudolph at this point. So I'm just down on him. He's not that good. He was brutal to watch when he was healthy, and now he's hurt. And I don't know if he lost a step or anything like that. Like he just didn't look good out there anyway.
All right, so you're not one of the guys that thinks you need to add him in for a tight end one streamer down the stretch. Obviously, tight end is a great position, but it seems like you may think that he's not going to perform how other people think. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a Rudolph guy ever, never have been. I don't know. Chase Green's been doing pretty well. I mean, Rudolph's out this week at start forward in DraftKings. It looks like him and Bridgewater have a good thing going. So, yeah, I'm not a big Rudolph fan.
All right, Marty L.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not much of a Rudolph fan until he proves that he can be healthy. But even when he's healthy, he's not that good. So I mean, I'm not.
You know what? I'm gonna take the other side on this. I just think that with Kyle Rudolph, I don't think he's that great, but I think with the tight end situation, he's definitely a guy I'd take a flyer on. I know that Adam in our league picked him up, and I was a little disappointed because I wanted to pick him up and I just completely forgot about it. But I think that Kyle Rudolph is probably not going to be great, but I do think he has a chance to be a number 4, number 5 tight end option come fantasy playoffs, just because of the situation he's in. So I think that while I agree with you guys that he hasn't really proved himself, I think that he has a lot of upside, and I know that you guys probably agree with me on that portion of it. So it's something that I might take a flyer on if our audience out there, if he's available in your league, I might try to pick him up if you have the space. So. Anyways, you're running pretty late here, so I want to go to everybody for a final thought. You can either talk about a player you like this week, a situation you're in, a trade you've made, or just a final thought. Let's kick it off to Jeremy first.
In my dumb league, I'm on a 7-game winning streak. Even though you play 2 a week, I'm 13-7 in first place now. So for all the people in that league, you can fucking suck it.
Do people in that league watch this podcast? Because I feel like there's only like 10 people that watch this podcast.
No one. I only know one person in that league, but I don't care.
All right, well, good luck this week. Marty, what's your parting word?
Shout out to Willis, who beat me by over 100 points in our ESPN league. After I just lost to Jeremy in that league, I'm well over 100 points as well. So thank you.
All right, and Wilson.
He took what I was going to say. I put up 207 points on him.
This is impressive.
Nice.
I think I put up like
Play some
87.
defense.
Oof.
Nice. Well, my parting word is I dropped to 4-6 in the league we all played in. I'm on a 4-game losing streak. I lost by less than a point. Somehow, Jonathan Stewart beat me on Monday Night Football, which is laughable, but he did. So I made a trade this week. I traded away A.J. Green and Carlos Hyde for Marshawn Lynch and Keenan Allen. So I'm hoping that I can kind of get lucky, win 3 in a row, sneak into the playoffs, and then run the table. It's one of those things. It's a low chance of happening, but you never know. So I'm gonna try. Anyway, yeah, appreciate everybody listening to the podcast or watching. If you're watching this far in, then you're probably one of our best friends anyway. So fuck you. No, but seriously, thanks everybody for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys either next week or the week after. So thanks again, Marty L.